Hello guys and welcome again to the online series of learning IELTS with MS Education. I am Disha Patel and in today's lesson of grammar we will be learning about the different tenses, that is past, simple and present tenses that are to be used in your IELTS exams, writing and the speaking sections. So let us continue with today's session.
There are 12 tenses in total. We will learn each of them today in this lecture. Let us start with simple tenses. As you can see on your screen, there are 3 simple tenses. Simple present tense, simple past tense and simple future tense. All the tenses have the different functions. Let us see the function of simple present tense. It is used for facts, generalizations and truths that are not affected by the passage of time. In other words, this tense tells truth about something or someone. So now, let us see the example. She writes a lot of papers for her classes. Here, she is the subject, writes is the verb in present form, and a lot of papers is the object. Now, try to make a few sentences on your own. Let us now see the uses of simple past tense. Its usage is simplest as the name suggests. It is used for events completed in the past. That means you can use this tense to refer to anything happened in past. Moving towards the example, she wrote the papers for all of her classes last month. Here, she is the subject, write is the verb, and papers for her classes is the object. And will before is the verb, and next semester refers to the action in the past. So, this was the explanation for simple tenses. Now, we should see the perfect tenses. Starting with present perfect tense, this tense is used to mention the events that are completed in present and past both. Here, we use has and have. And please note that we use have with I, we, you and they, while we use has with he, she and it. Now, see the examples. She has written papers for most of her classes, but she still has some papers left to write. Here, she is the subject, written is the past participle of the verb, and papers is the object. I have not mentioned the last part of this sentence because it is not our main focus for now. Also, as you can see, we have used has before written because the subject is she. I hope that this sentence is clear to you. Now, let us move to the past perfect tense. This tense is used to mention events that happened prior to other events in the past. In this type of sentence, had is used before the verb. In other words, it refers to two events in past and the older event is mentioned in past perfect while the newer event is mentioned in simple past. Now, to understand this more clearly, let us take an example. She had written several papers for her classes before she switched universities. In this sentence, she is the subject, written is the past participle of the verb, several papers is object, and the other sentence, she switched universities, is in simple past. Here, I want you to identify the subject, verb in past form and object in this sentence as a revision of simple past tense. Identify and drop your answers in the comment section. Now, let us see the future perfect tense. It is used to describe events that will be completed between now and a specific point in the future. In other words, it is used to mention the events that will be completed in the specific time in future. In this tense, we use will have before the verb. Let us see the example. She will have written many papers for her classes by the end of the semester. Here, she is the subject, written is past participle of the verb, and many papers is the object. Here, by the end of the semester mentions the event in future. So, these are the perfect tenses. Remember that we always use past participle in the perfect tense. Moving further to the continuous tenses. Firstly, present continuous tense. It is used to describe currently ongoing, or we can say usually temporary actions. To explain it more clearly, it is used to talk about the ongoing actions. Here, is, am and are is used with verb. Remember that if I is the subject, am is used. If the subject is singular, then is used, and if the subject is plural, then are is used. For example, she is writing a paper for her class. Note here that she is singular subject, so we have used is. Writing is verb. That means the continuous form of the verb, and a paper is the object. Let us now see past continuous tense. This tense is used to describe ongoing past events, often in relation to the occurrence of another event. That means this tense refers to the actions that were continued in the past and were related to other past events sometimes. In this tense, we use was for singular verb and were for plural verb. For example, she was writing a paper for her class when her pencil broke. Here, she is singular subject, so we have used was writing after it, and a paper is the object. And finally, the future continuous tense. It is used to describe future events that are expected to continue over a period of time. Here, we use will be verb in the sentence. Look at the example. She will be writing a lot of papers for her classes next year. Now here, she is the subject. Will be writing is a will be form of ing form of verb. As I mentioned before, and a lot of papers is object. Also, for her classes next year, in this statement describes the future. This brings us to the last part of the tenses, that is, perfect continuous tenses. To start with, present perfect continuous tense, it is used to describe events that started in the past and continue into the present or were recently completed, emphasizing their relevance to the present moment. For illustration, she has been writing a paper all night and now she needs to get some sleep. As you can see, we have used has. It is according to the rule applied in the present perfect tense, but we have also used been before verb, the ing form of verb, which needs to be noted. Also, the last part of the sentence, she needs to get some sleep, is in simple present tense. Now, let us see the past perfect continuous tense. It is used to describe events that begin, continued, and ended in the past, emphasizing the relevance to a past moment. For example, she had been writing a paper all night and she needed to get some sleep. As you can see, we have used had. It is according to the rule applied in the past perfect tense. But we have also used been before the ing form of verb, and you should note that. Also, the last part of the sentence, she needed to get some sleep, is in simple past tense. And lastly, future perfect continuous tense. It is used to describe events that will continue up until a point in the future, emphasizing their expected duration. Taking an example, she will have been writing this paper for 3 months when she hands it in. It can be seen that we have used will have. It is according to the rule applied in the future perfect tense. But we have also used been before the ing form of the verb to make it continuous. I hope you have understood these tenses. Thank you for attending the class. If you have any queries, please write to us in the comment section. We will make sure that your doubts are solved as soon as possible. I'll see you in the next class.